last year, I saw Blue Beetle in theaters with my mom, one of the four DCEU films to come out in 2023. We both enjoyed it. I wouldn't say that Blue Beetle is a fantastic movie. I think the biggest thing holding it back is that it does stick a bit too closely to the formula. It feels like there was creativity put into some aspects of the movie. I really enjoyed how the family actually gets in on the action. They're not just on the sidelines watching this all happen. No, they're a big part of our main character's story, and they actually end up playing a big part in rescuing him from the villain. Also, I like what we got from the villain's henchman, who doesn't get a ton of screen time. We don't really learn much about his backstory until shortly before he dies, but I think what we learned really made us go, oh, it's sad. This guy has suffered a lot, and then this lady manipulated him, took advantage of him, and in the end, he realizes I don't have anything left to live for, but you, kid, do. You have a family that loves you, that's waiting for you to come back to them. I'm going to do everything I can to make sure that you can return to your family. I don't have anybody. I don't have any reason left to keep going, but you do. So I'm going to sacrifice myself for you. I thought that was powerful, though his character could have been more interesting if he had been given more screen time. Also, the way the movie wraps up just seems overly tidy. What I mean by that is the movie ends in a way that suggests, oh, everything's gonna be fine with the company now. Just because a new person's in charge, that means everything's fine. There's no problems whatsoever. It's like, oh, that seems very convenient. Like, okay, suddenly now everything's fine just because a new person's in charge. Yeah, that doesn't seem very believable to me. Also, the biggest thing that's holding this movie back is that the villain and plot feel rather derivative of both Iron Man and Ant Man. Because once again, you have villain working for a big tech company that feels slighted because there is a shift in leadership, and thus the villain is angry. There's someone who previously was in charge of the company that's not around anymore, that's not leading the company anymore. The villain seeks out a weapon to gain more power. Even the hero gaining a tech suit feels derivative of Iron Man. Of course, there's some differences in the exact way it plays out in Blue Beetle, with this idea that the suit actually literally becomes a part of this person, not just on the outside, but in the inside as well. But still, the visuals, especially the way that Blue Beetle can just form weapons, feels very much like what we saw in Avengers Infinity War, for example, when Tony had the nanobots. But I still overall like the movie. I don't think it's fantastic. It's not like it's not my favorite movie in the DCEU, but I thought it was a lot of fun. I liked the focus on Hispanic culture, on the family. I really enjoyed seeing Zolo Marijuana play the main character in a movie because I'm a big fan of Cobra Kai. I'm rooting for Miguel to actually be in a movie, and I thought there were really funny moments. I liked the visuals. There's not any moments where I was thinking, yeah, this looks unconvincing or stupid, anything like that. I think the story is good enough. It's not great. It feels derivative. It does ultimately get the job done. I wouldn't say like there are plot holes or things that don't make sense. It's more like, yeah, the filmmakers did get lazy in this regard. It feels like they didn't really put much effort in, and so you're left with a movie that feels derivative of several other Marvel movies. But still, I'm glad I saw it in the theaters. I had a good time watching it, and overall, I enjoyed it. And therefore, I'll wrap things up